doesn't know, I mean, it's your most like iconic bit. Would that be taking a shit in the toilet at the hardware store?
Yeah, that would be my most iconic bit. Written by Whitey McConaughey.
All right.
Whitey wrote that. How crazy is that?
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Who's Whitey McConaughey?
He's a snowboard guy.
Yeah, a snowboard videographer.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
The shitting at the hardware store, wasn't it like you showed up the first day, but
Oh,
you shit
God.
your pants on the way there or something?
No,
Yeah.
well, there was too many customers in there to clear them all. So they're like, wait. And I guess it was just a really busy day at the hardware store. And I'd already had this hot sauce that, like it's a ticking time bomb in me. So they're like, hold on. 3 hours went by. And we're in the van waiting outside. And it's like raining and wet. And then Tremaine starts jabbing me in the ribs. I'm like, seriously, dude, I'm not joking. I'm going to shit my pants. And so they had the heater blasting. It's all like moist and humid from the rain. And then when that
Was that your
idea?
idea?
Homeboy. Yeah, that was one of my ideas.
And is that before pooping in the hardware store?
Oh yeah, that was during our that was like the last few episodes of our TV show before that movie. So.
Okay.
What's your infatuation with shitting?
Right.
Wait, but with that wasn't shitting. It was just pudding.
Right,
But
but
then
it's true.
MTV.
High school? Was it
Because
college?
you're sort of known
I-
for shitting.
I-
like when did that?
I remember
when did
like
that happen?
there was like a field behind my neighborhood where all the kids would play, and nobody wanted to play with me ever. And I remember back then when I was a kid, the Gatorade bottles were glass, so I
Okay.
shit in really big mouth. So I shit in the glass Gatorade bottle and threw it on a stump in the backfield there with all the kids there, and the glass went everywhere, and the shit smashed on the stump. And then from then on out, like I was cool.
Wow. So then when you got Jackass, you're like, I'll shit because that'll make me cool here. That's
They're
worked.
just like,
That's
you know,
worked
like
for me.
I was surprised. They're like, you can just shit whenever. I'm like, yeah, like
You can
to
just
me,
shit
it didn't seem
whenever?
like a big deal. Yeah, I could shit in front of someone way before I could pee in front of them, like easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
And originally it was Chris Pontius who was the shit guy.
He did the Pucano, right?
Right, because in the Big
Oh
Brother,
yeah,
in
yeah. The Big Brother video, he did it, and I've always So he did the first Pucano. I think Dave Carney wrote it, and then Chris
Yeah.
Pontius did it. But like they did it all wrong. He like laid down and the poop went sideways. It didn't turn out right, and ever since then, that was like mid '90s. And
You thought that was wrong? I thought that was fucking
It was still
genius.
awesome,
I
but I'm
thought
like,
it was amazing.
if you're gonna call it Pucano, it needs to be looking like
Right,
straight
okay.
up. No, yeah. Let me rephrase that before I get
Yeah.
beat up by Chris.
No, it's fine. And I mean, if anything that I thought it was just that you saw that it was an enema, like the water came out and then
Yeah. Well, then,
Still
I was all
fucking-
ready to do mine, so I've got my legs over this way and then my butt up this way, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm ready to go. I'd carefully planned, like for 1 month, I didn't drink any caffeine, and then to that day I ate as much as I could and drank 2 giant Red Bulls. And so I'm laying up there ready to go, and they're
this
like,
on-
one more thing, and they got that whole train set thing over
yeah,
me.
this was for Jackass 3D,
Yeah, for
where,
Jackass
where
3D,
your
the
ass was part of it.
Pucano. And so I'm all ready to go, and they didn't tell me they had this plan. And then Pontius comes up with an enema. He's like, I'm like, no, Chris, I'm good. I'm like, seriously, dude, don't put that in me. It was pretty rough.
So
But whatever, he's my
Pontius-
friend. He's allowed to do that if he thinks it's necessary. And he did it. So if you watch it, you can see that I like kind of just shot the water out separately because I can
He penetrated.
Oh, wow.
compartments.
You can switch
got rid of
chambers.
that. You'll see it. Like some water goes out, and then all the shit comes out.
Wait, so you have like, can you fart on command?
No.
But you
Okay.
can shit right now if we wanted you to.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
So
I'm not
did you
gonna- I'll
have
shut
the
that hole.
opening scene for one of the Jackass movies where you shit on the toilet, like the little dollhouse toilet?
Yeah, that was a great one
Yeah,
too.
that was so that one. So I did the fire hose rodeo in part 2. So and then I slammed my ass super bad and went to the hospital. They gave me some painkillers, so I took them. And then the next day they're like, let's do this. Your idea with the little toilet. We have the whole thing set up. And I'm like, guys, like the pain pills, I can't take a shit. And so they're like, let's try it anyways. So, all the cameras on me. I'm trying as hard as I can. And I don't know, like pain pills, I think it's pretty much
They
for everybody. They
constipate
constipate
you,
you.
yeah.
Like, even though I'm a professional shitter, come on, I'm human. But this is what happened. So I want this footage, by the way. I gotta find this. I took a shit that was proportional to the little toilet. Like a little shit that was like the right size for the toilet. And they're like, oh, forget it. And they went to throw it away. I'm like, And I grabbed it. I'm like, I'll clean it out. I'll hang on to this and I'll bring it and we'll film it. So like I kept it with me. And then we were at Knoxville's house one day. I'm like, hey, can we do this? And they're like, let's do it.
Okay, there was a Dave England moment that I wasn't there for, but it happened in Europe. right? Was it your shit and you
In
smeared
Paris.
in
In
Paris?
romantic Paris.
This okay, we did the Gumball Rally, right? And the Gumball Rally was a special Jackass episode with me, Pontius, and Knoxville. And we went like racing through 10 different countries in a big loop through Europe with all these crazy millionaires. It was all kinds of fun. When we got back to England where we started, I was done. And then they continued on to shoot in like Amsterdam and Paris, like all these different places. And Dave England was there for all that filming. But if I've got the story right, you guys are staying in a hotel in Paris. Tremaine's out like drinking, and you think it's funny that like you're gonna take a shit and smear your own shit all over Tremaine's hotel door handle.
We were there to work, and he flew his fiance, now wife, Laura, in, and they went out on a romantic date. We were all of us did. The rest of us were like, "What can we do about this?" And I think it was me and Bam that went in cahoots on this, and just were like, "Okay, someone needs to take a shit."
I don't think Bam was.
No,
on
he was.
that.
Yeah, he was there for sure.
he was
yeah,
there?
yeah, he
Okay.
was definitely there.
Was that? Yeah.
And then so well, anyways, long story short, I took a shit, rubbed it all over his Tremaine's hotel door room, and then when they got
Not
we
the
waited.
door on the outside. But
Yeah,
like
on the
it's just
outside of his
handle.
hotel door room. So when he gets back from the date, they get back and they're
It's
going to
on
go
the
back to
door
the hotel.
handle,
And
so
we're
it is.
watching from around the corner. He just full squeeze turn.
You
with
filmed that?
Yeah. We had something like, I don't, maybe not a very good camera, but yeah, and not very good angles and
And
stuff.
so Tremaine was like, okay, you got me, good. But the thing was that at that point, me good. But the thing was that and back then we always shared hotel rooms. We weren't
Yeah.
like baller status yet where we got our own hotel room.
Yeah, I was sharing my hotel room with.
What was it terrible? Like, was it Tremaine's wedding? I had the time when we were in Russia and I got we got so wasted on vodka, and part of the night like was me kissing Pontius on the dick. You know what you did last night? And all of a sudden my heart just fucking stops and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to hear like I just did something so fucking terrible. Oh no, what is it? And he goes,
Dude, you
and I said, oh dude, is that all? Oh sweet. Yeah. Fuck man, that's so good.
I mean, were you a blackout drinker, or did you just do too
Not
much
too
cocaine
much.
to where you were just up?
Yeah, I didn't black out too much.
You ever
man.
wake up in jail, or like you knew you were going to jail?
No. I thought, dude, what a creepy thought. I've always known I was going to jail. Have you ever been to jail?
I've been to jail 5 times in 3 countries.
Wow, dude, nice. Do you have any mug shots?
Probably. I don't really seek them out.
What countries?
United States, New Zealand, and Japan. Don't go to jail in Japan.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's
They
that
don't have
like?
windows.
What were you in Japan for?
Oh, I guess I stole a bike in the middle of the night.
Was that
Darf?
when we were there shooting the movie?
I was lost and I couldn't find anyone. It was a broken down bike, like nobody wanted. It was already a discarded bike, I swear. Like you stole the bike, and then so they didn't know what to do. They held me there overnight, and the next day they're like, "Where did you get this bike?" I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, "We're gonna drive you around until you find it." I'm like, "Okay," and they drove me around. I'm like, "Oh, look right there."
Yeah,
Like
that-
finally, I just made up a spot. I was like, "That's exactly where it was." They're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Right there. It was right against that railing."
That
right
wasn't
there.
when we were there.
No,
filming.
this is for a snowboard trip in the
Snowboarding
night.
thing, yeah.
I used to go there all the time in the 90s.
What's the jail like in Japan?
No windows, just dark. Like they just open a door and check on you every now and then. Like
give you
just,
sushi?
No, I don't. They gave me some food. I didn't eat it. I don't know what it was. I just didn't eat it. It was scary. I thought I'd be in there forever.
Really?
How long were you there for?
Just for a midnight till like midday the next day.
And then what'd you do in New Zealand?
I bought a little car, this little thing. It was like a mini, but the front of it looked like a Rolls Royce. It's called a Land Crab, a Wolseley.
That's cool.
And so like I bought it, and then like I'd rented this little place on this hill, and like 2 miles down the hill was the bar. And so I took 2 shots of whiskey, got in a little car, drove down the hill. And then I was like looking at it. I was like, wow, I love this little car. And this cop comes by and he's like, "Is that your little car?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you just drive down that hill?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Breathe into this."
Really?
And he gave me they call it instead of a DUI, they call it a dickie, a DIC, a drunken control.
Oh wow.
Or drunk in charge. I think it's drunk in charge.
That sounds right.
Yeah, drunk in
Oh,
charge.
like in charge of a vehicle
Yeah.
or something?
And then so I had to go to court, and it was a $500 fine, and I lost my license in New Zealand for 6 months. But I just kept driving,
Well, how long are you in New Zealand for?
like 4 or 5 months.
And that was for snowboarding too.
Yeah, because they have opposite seasons. So.
Is this all
Pre-Jackass.
pre-Jackass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like
And they said I couldn't have babies, but I had 4, so fuck doctors. Never listen to what a doctor says, by the
You
way.
had
They-
4?
Like I fucking like landed on the bellhop cart. It's like, dude, you've got these kids, and your kids are fucking running around like
Yeah, they keep
crazy,
you- keep you
like
busy.
like where anybody would lose their fucking mind with the chaos of your kids running around.
Yeah, you seem
And
like a good dad.
You see your
Me and Aaron got in a fight. I kept fucking with
And
Aaron.
did-
Finally, he had enough, and he punched me with his dumb rocker rings and like cut my head, and like I dove over the table of merch, and all the